This woman right here has gone viral after she did a social experiment calling around to different churches with the story of a fictitious baby that needed 1 can of formula. Many of the churches told her no, while the Buddhist temple and the mosque told her yes. Is she in the right to do this, or is this a wake-up call for not only Americans, but religious people worldwide?
I am calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a hungry baby. So far, I've already called 2 churches. Neither one of them were willing to help feed a baby. And honestly, I'm not even a church. And if somebody called me needing to feed a baby, I wouldn't just hang up the phone. I would find them a resource and get them formula for their baby.
Hello. Thank you for calling Dream.
Oh, she called Charlie Kirk's
Sorry,
church.
I didn't find anyone with this name. To speak to someone at the reception desk, say reception or press 0. Or if you know the person you...
MK Church, is that the guy? How may I help you?
Yes, I just want to see if there's any way y'all could help with a small can of baby formula. I've been out since last night, and my daughter, she's not 8 since last night, and she's only 2 months old, and I've been calling everywhere, and they're just telling me to keep calling churches.
Okay, so we have you ever heard of Mom's Pantry?
Yes, I already tried them. They don't have any formula.
Okay, that's our only connection to, like, our food bank ministry. So if they don't have any baby formula, then we don't have any in our office that we could provide.
Okay, would it be something that you all would be able to get and I just pick it up?
Let me connect you with our care pastor.
That's so sad.
So it looks like after a few minutes of waiting, they just kind of left her on hold playing this music.
A TikToker just proved what a lot of us already knew. Some churches talk about love, but don't show it. Her name is Nikalie, and she's gone viral for calling 26 Christian churches pretending to be a desperate mom out of baby formula. She even plays a sound of a baby crying in the background, begging for help. You'd think a church would step up, right? Out of 26 calls, 23 said no. Some gave excuses, some hung up, others said, "We don't do that here." Out of all those so-called Christian churches, only 3 offered help. But then she called a mosque. Before she could finish, the man on the line said, "Where are you? What kind of formula do you need? Come here, we'll help you." No hesitation, no judgment, just action.
Let's see what happened when she called the mosque.
Hi, yes. I was trying to call. I have a 2-month-old baby, and I ran out of formula last night, and I was wanting to see if there's any way you all could help with a can of baby formula.
We can, ma'am. Where do you live? Do you live in Charlotte?
Yes, I'm like 10 minutes from you all.
Okay. And what kind of formula you need?
It's the Good Start.
Good Start. Yeah, that's fine, ma'am. If you come over here, we'll help you.
Okay, hold on just 1 second, okay?
That's crazy. No way. Her first call to a mosque, they immediately helped her.
Good morning. It's Somerset Baptist Church.
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if you all were able to help. I have a baby, and I do not have formula for the week for her, and I was wanting to see if y'all were able to help.
They stopped doing anything out of the church office about 2 years ago. We give to some places in town that, might be able to help you, like God's Food Pantry or Perm, but they don't do anything out of the church office.
So I had a lot of requests wanting me to call a mega church. So I'm actually calling Lakewood International Center in Houston, Texas. And then I also had a recommendation to play a crying baby in the background. So you will be hearing that.
So this is Joel Osteen's church.
Morning, thank you for calling Lakewood Church. This is Ashley. How can I help you?
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all could help with formula at all. I have a 2-month-old baby, and we ran out last night, so she's been going all day long without food. Is there any way y'all could help with formula?
We do have a benevolence ministry. I can take down your information and put in a request for you.
Okay. How long would that take?
We really don't have an estimated time just because we do receive a lot of requests here. Each applicant is different. It could take a couple of days. It could take a couple of weeks. We really just don't have a time frame there.
Wow, I wonder what kind of process you have to go through to get approved for a can of formula at Joel Osteen's church. My God.
Almost all of them said no. There was an Islamic church that said yes. There was a sweet Appalachian old man that was just trying to write everything down. That one made me cry. Just trying to write everything down so he could get it right. Like, baby, what do you need? All the Christian denominational churches, like, no, we don't do that. We do this instead. Listen, I've been scammed before. I've had somebody that said that they were starving and they were hungry and they were cold, and I just gave them money. I didn't know. And come to find out, then they tried to hack my bank account. But one thing I'm not going to be guilty of is ever standing before the Lord and saying that I was presented with an opportunity to possibly help somebody that was hungry, and I said no.
This is not a Democrat or Republican problem. This is a church problem. Now you listen to this next line, you get this one. Because we, the church, have surrendered our spiritual responsibility to the earthly community. We have said we don't have to feed them, the government will.
Wow.
We don't have to take care of them, the government will. And he told us explicitly, especially the widows and the orphans, that's the babies to me. He told us that was, we all say we hate religion. No, Kevin, he said there was a pure religion, didn't he? It's a pure religion. A pure religion is to minister to the widows and the orphans and to visit them in their time of affliction.
This was one of the churches that said yes, they would provide the formula.
The lady that's calling the churches to see if they will give formula to her starving baby. Of course they're not going to give formula to a starving baby. We've been telling y'all this for decades, and I'm so sick of seeing it spin around all over the internet that, oh my God, she's calling and now we're just now seeing it. It's 2025! We have poor people on the streets! If the churches worked, there would be no hungry or poor people on the streets! God damn! That's the point! Christ is not in the church! Jesus is not in the church! He has never been in the church! He is the one who told you to leave the church! He told you to leave!
Lady, you need to calm down. You're going to end up in the hospital. My God.
So you create a false scenario, present it as true, and then when people don't respond to your fraud the way you think they should respond, they're the problem?
So this is one of the guys that think she's the problem for creating a false scenario.
You think churches are supposed to feed everybody, no matter the circumstances. They're open 24/7. They have unlimited resources, and they should never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, try to vet people they serve. And where's that in the Bible?
No, this man's name is Michael Crawford, according to his social media. I wonder if he's a pastor because he says the churches should be able to vet who they serve. Interesting.
I'm not afraid of y'all, and I'm still standing on what I'm saying. And I'm going to tag you since you want to keep coming back and forth. So I'm just going to make one final video, and hopefully this is this. And I am talking about that goddamn tattoo lady who called in the church trying to set the church up. Let's be very clear before I get too deep into it. We don't know how many church probably did say yes. This is social media. She's doing it for views, clicks, and followers. She could purposely not post in the churches that wants to help.
So you think she's just using this as an opportunity for views, clicks, followers, so she can get paid off of social media? My God.
I haven't seen any videos of people going to those churches, members of those churches going there and saying, hey, why aren't we giving food to the needy? What are we doing here? I'm hoping that I'm just stupid and it's not on my algorithm and I missed those videos. I haven't seen anyone talk about, hey, I'm a member of that church and I'm very disappointed in them. I thought we were helping people.
The social experiment that is opening all of our eyes. Not really to the fact that every mega church she reaches out to, they cannot get off of the phone fast enough. The second that they hear that she is someone who is in need, they hang up on her. They will send her to voicemail and she will never hear back from them. The people who are willing to give, the churches, it was the Buddhist temple, it was the mosque, it was the small Catholic church, it was the church in London, that the people were like, I'm literally going to get the person who answered the phone, the secretary of the church. Those were the people who were like, not only I'm going to go do it right now, I'm going to also give you the number to resources where they can help you more if this isn't enough. It wasn't the big churches.
I've been around some Muslims, and they're like the most generous group of people I've ever been around. Like, it's like generosity runs through their blood. But as the capital C church, we look bad.
Wow, so are these people saying that Christians are stingy?
Nikalie called Charlie Kirk's church. They forward her to a voicemail with a crying baby in the background. Charlie Kirk's church. Charlie Kirk's church.
I believe nikalie can be sued for what she's doing. Okay, these videos go viral, right? And word gets out to the congregation. The videos are shared amongst each other. Everybody's talking, they're chattering, Sunday rolls around, and now the pastor has to make an announcement about all the good that they do with their money. People don't want to give their tithes to somebody that can't help a baby with a $15, $20 thing of formula.
Okay.
Yeah, it could cost them money. This could be a big problem. Not to mention, you know, the church is just going to say that the receptionist doesn't have any say in what the money, like where the money goes, you know.
Now, I'm wondering if that would make a church look good or bad if they filed a lawsuit against nikalie, seeing that she was just doing a social experiment and that many people are on her side.
They are so mad at her that now they are calling her left-leaning, self-serving, lesbian stripper who has an agenda against the church. That's what they are calling her. They're trying to demonize this woman because with one phone call, she managed to expose over 30 churches.
Wow.
Who were not willing to help a mother in need with that kind of formula.
I don't understand how anybody is surprised to learn that many evangelical churches are unwilling to help out the poor in their community. I was raised Southern Baptist, and the church that I attended, several members had wanted there to be a food pantry. They just saw a need in the community, and so they had organized and opened a food pantry. But the elders of the church said that people need to come to church in order to receive food. And so they had to bamboozle people and strong arm them into coming to church. But after a few years, they were like, too many poor people are coming to church. They're not tithing. And so they kind of mulled it around. And the general consensus was, let's just close the doors to the food pantry.
Should you be required to be a tithe-paying member of a church in order to receive some type of assistance?
When are you guys going to wake up and realize that a lot of the churches you're going to are pyramid schemes? They're money laundering. They're scammers. Your tithing is not going where it should be going. When are you going to wake up and realize that?
This nut is calling churches asking for formula for her baby that she says is starving. And when the churches cannot provide her formula, she blasts them all over social media. Maybe you on the other side of this screen, you don't know this. Churches are abused so much. They are taken advantage of so much. I'm talking about good churches. Now I know there are some corrupt churches out there. They are all for the money. But let me tell you, there are so many good churches out there to help people. We centered on the gospel and help those in need, but we get abused ourselves.
Now, this right here is a pastor, Pastor Chase C., so we really should hear what he has to say.
For this woman to get on here and to say, oh, you don't have formula? Let me tell you, even if a church, and not all churches do this, our church, we don't do this. What we do is we used to have a food pantry that we would do, but it's keeping up with it. And then when somebody has to be in the office through the week, so what we do is we help a food pantry in our community. We support them, we provide for them, and so they help the community. And then when it comes down to babies in need, oh, listen, we are pro-life from the womb to the tomb, and we are proud of that. But we don't have diapers and formulas on hand. I don't know any church, and maybe they do, but I know we don't have formula. And when you think about formula, there has to be a certain kind of formula. Some babies, they get sick if they take different formulas, and you know it messes with their...
I want you to ask yourself a question. Is this making him look good or bad?
So don't believe all this crazy stuff this woman's putting out there. This is to keep you from church. And who's behind all this? At the end of the day, the devil himself.
Wow, he says the devil is behind this woman's social experiment.
Muslim communities and Muslims are obligated to provide charity to the community. Churches, they are not obligated. We hope that they're going to be able to be philanthropic and donate into their community. And churches get scammed all of the time.
We're kind of hearing this over and over. Churches get scammed all the time, so they should not be giving out anything.
So that lady calling all the churches and asking them for baby formula is heartbreaking, and it is actually very terrifying to see because it is a microcosm of the way millions of Americans feel and have felt for decades. You're gonna tell millions of people searching for God, searching for something holy, this higher power to explain everything, to look for something, something inside of these people yearn for it. And you, as an institution that represents God, represents this holiness, can't even provide less than $20 for 1 can of baby formula to feed a starving baby. You are hearing the baby on the phone, and you wonder why people are leaving the church and have left the church. And then you double down on this fucked up power dynamic that people are no longer willing to be bullied into. Every church, every religious institution in this country should be feeding the poor, should be out on the streets housing the homeless, should be pushing for policies to end homelessness, right? Otherwise, what's the point of religion?
So many of the churches in this world that claim to help people, that claim to love their neighbor as themselves, do not.
Wow.
They are hypocrites.
Ooh.
You want to know why people are turning away from the church? This is why. Man. You do not practice what you preach. You preach love, and you preach forgiveness. You preach loving your neighbor as yourself.
Shaking.
But you don't practice it. You don't know who Jesus is.
2 Baptist churches, predominantly African American or black, and 1 mosque are the only churches who, when she called and said, "I have a starving newborn baby, can you help me with formula?" Those are the only 3 out of about 30 churches that help. Tax-free. Tax-free, mind you. Commanded by their religion to help, mind you. The whole reason they're there, mind you. I pretty much all said no. Except for 2 Baptist church and 1 mosque. So if you look like me and every week you are giving your money to a church, they need to be audited by their congregation immediately.
Wow, folks, is this really a race thing on top of this? You mean to tell me that a Caucasian woman can't even get help from Caucasian churches?
Oh, you can't have that jet? I got it. Let me make you real mad. Got 2 of them. Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but
there's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Not surprised, because anybody who knows, like, if you've ever had to face financial hardships, I have. I'm not ashamed. I have reached out to churches, and I will say this. When I was at my worst, the most assistance that I did get did not come from a church.
A message of gratitude from the Islamic Center of Charlotte. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, and thank you. We have been deeply moved by the incredible outpouring of positive comments and support following a recent social media experiment that highlighted our service to a mother and baby in need. This heartwarming response reaffirms a core teaching of our faith: compassion, immediate assistance, and selfless service to all of our neighbors.
Wait a minute, this says they had 1 review and 1 star before this incident happened. My goodness, now they got 6.4 thousand reviews and 5 stars.
Hey everybody, Pastor Ralph Hodge. I see a video, a bunch of videos actually, of a lady calling churches asking if they will
Tell the pastor, great.
Baby formula. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, as a pastor, and being a pastor, 22 years full-time, well, 29 years full-time, but 22 at this current church. I'd be happy with someone who called and only asked for baby formula. Yeah, we would knock that request out pretty quickly, because most of the requests we get are pretty big. Rent be $2,000-$3,000. Utility bill be $1,500. So a can of baby formula, we probably, well, now let me first say this. We don't keep any baby formula at the church. You know, we just don't do that. And we don't keep any meat. So we would have to kind of create a food box for you. But when you call the church and you hit the number for food ministry, they get your name, get with you, and get your food and do all that kind of easy stuff. But formula, yeah, we would knock that one out pretty quick.
Well, there you go. Y'all need to hold Pastor Ralph to that. If you need some formula, especially, make sure you contact his church.
Hey, so this is Dream City Church in Phoenix, Arizona. And a few days ago, they posted about how it's the job of the church, not the government, to take care of poor people. Which is incredibly ironic because when a woman called them asking for help getting 1 can of formula to feed her starving baby who hasn't eaten in like 12 hours, they said no. But Pastor Luke, I thought it was the job of the church to take care of poor people. I've been keeping track of who has said no and who has said yes. And unsurprisingly, the majority have said no. And of the ones who have said yes, we can notice that the majority of them are historically Black churches or churches with a predominantly Black congregation, a few Catholic churches, a mosque, and some Buddhist temples.
Wow, folks, this is definitely an eye-opening experiment. I don't care where you fall on the side of this.
Prank calling churches to see if they'll feed the poor is kind of stupid. Because we all know the motivation behind this is clicks and views. A bunch of folks who don't go to church, don't believe in God, definitely don't contribute to churches, are prank calling to make a point. And the vast majority of churches that do feed the poor will never get the recognition. But the 1 or 2 churches that would answer weird would somehow become representative of the church not feeding the poor.
This guy who goes by Kev Ranks on social media, I wonder if he's a pastor. If you know him or know if he's a pastor or preacher, please let me know in the comments.
Huge churches, they have the money. They have more than enough money. I guarantee you the pastors are living comfortably. They can afford $20 to help somebody in their community, and they're choosing not to. And you guys are still feeding money into the churches. Mind you, I've also seen comments where people that work within churches are upset that she's challenging them. They are more upset that they are being challenged to be Christian and to be helpful and to help their community. They are more upset about being challenged than they are about the fact that there are churches out there not helping a single mother that needs help feeding their baby.
This is a great point. Now, I wonder how churches really feel about single mothers then. I just thought about that.
We have seen mega churches hanging up on her. They basically can't get her off the phone fast enough. And some of them will send her to a voicemail and then never call her back. So mega churches absolutely will not help you. As soon as they figure out you're a person in need, they have nothing to do with you.
Me and my family is members of Lakewood Church. Me and my husband is getting ready now to attend the 11 o'clock service at Lakewood. I will record that service so that y'all can see what really goes on in their church. Since y'all have so much negativity to say something about Lakewood. Joel is the type of person, he does not ask for your tithes and offerings to go towards the church or him and his family. You have a lot of famous people that goes to this church. He's sending money to Africa to help those people that's in need that don't have nothing. I'm pretty sure Lakewood has donated to those people that was in, what was it, Bahamas? Jamaica.
She's actually letting you know that Lakewood and Joel Osteen's church is willing to give money outside of the country to the needy, but not to single mothers that need formula inside of the country. That is very interesting.
What I want to talk about is all of you. Because every day you see that your local liquor store or the supermarket or coming off the off-ramp of the freeway where there's somebody who's asking for money for food, or they're asking you if you have any spare change or if you could buy them something. And what do? You don't do a thing. You tell them, what do you tell them? Oh, I don't have no money. I don't have nothing. As you're walking in to buy food. I mean, you could have at least bought them a sandwich or something and then came out and handed it to them and said, here you go. You're hungry. I bought you something. But you motherfuckers over here living in glass houses and throwing stones.
I wonder if this guy is a pastor. He is pissed. What's his social handle? X marks the truth. My God.
Idiot who is going around calling churches to see if they would help her non-existent child. Do you know that by putting out those churches, like information, everything like that. People are going into their reviews and threatening violence. And there are people basically saying that your story is true in their reviews. Oh, refuse to help a woman with a starving baby. Oh, these people need to be held accountable. Oh, they turned a mother away, blah, 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 referencing you. Did you know that you could be held accountable for that? As in legally held accountable for that, not just through a lawsuit, but criminally.
Well, this gentleman goes by the name of Quinn Pratt on social media. I wonder why he's so pissed, because he says he's not even religious. Well, there you have it. Where do you fall after this social experiment? And has your opinion changed about Christians or even Muslims? Let me know in the comments.